The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate.
Hello, ladies and jelly spoons. Welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time we had an impromptu stop episode because there were so many supports to do, and there's still a lot of supports to do. So let's start getting through them. So, Dimitri's got Sylvain moving through.
Your Highness? Why are you in my room?
Did he just waltz in? I mean, like, it looked like Dimitri walked through the door, not Sylvain.
Sorry, I need to hide in here, just for a while. I'll have you know this is all your fault.
Wait, I am filled with curiosity.
Hide? From who?
It's a girl from the academy.
And you think Sylvain's room is the best place to hide?
I'm sorry, it's a what?
Sylvain, you know what a girl is.
This is all because of your insistence that I go and ask a girl out.
You didn't give her a dagger, did you? Is that why you're hiding? Does she have a dagger, Dimitri?
Wait, what?
Look, you kept true to your promise to improve your behavior. So I felt it was only right to make good on my side of the bargain, too.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
You invited a girl to dinner, and now she's chasing you around. What's the big deal? Unless... Did you use one of my pickup lines? Those words are dangerous in the wrong hands.
God damn it, Sylvain.
With me, people know a line's a line and I'm joking. But you, nobody's ever accused you of being funny.
I clearly underestimated the difficulty of the task. But what do I do now?
Relax, Your Highness. Relax. I'll sort this whole thing out real easy. All we have to do is figure out how to make this girl lose interest in you.
Yeah, because clearly the future king of the Republic or Federation or whatever... yeah, it's the future king of the kingdom, because it's the kingdom, the empire, and the Federation, correct?
And making girls lose interest is what I'm best at. You just wait right there, and I'll fix everything.
It was my naivete that brought this about. I cannot place this immense burden on your shoulders.
Oh yeah, talking to a girl is an immense burden there, Dimitri.
This is no job for an amateur. You need a professional's help. Trying to do everything yourself has never served you so well, so just leave this to the master. Even the dagger incident could have been avoided if you had just talked with me beforehand.
Wait, there is no real dagger, you made that up.
There wasn't time for consultation. I only learned she was leaving on the day of her departure.
What dagger incident are we talking about then?
Whatever you say. The point is, you need to learn to rely on me for these types of things in the future. For now, I got this. And if I ever need help with something you know how to help with, then maybe you can do the same for me.
Like finances and giving me money.
Sylvain. Very well. When that time comes, I promise to help you as best I can.
I almost wonder if this whole thing was set up. Did Sylvain tell a girl to like go crazy for Dimitri? But it'd be awfully weird that he would pick get the exact girl in place.
A knight of Fargus never goes back on his word. Isn't that right? You're a good man, Sylvain. I'm sorry to do this to you. Best of luck.
Please, Your Highness. I've spent years honing my skills for just this situation. Watch and learn.
Oh, I wanted to watch and also learn. Ah, Flane. Alright, we'll certainly let Flane hang out with him.
Oh, are you on cooking duty today, Flane? That's unusual.
Indeed I am. I have been working away on this meal for hours now. The only thing is, each time it is my turn to tend to the meals, those in the dining hall seem to miraculously become very busy and evacuate the premises. I make the food, but nobody is ever here to eat it. I do not understand what the issue is. It is such a waste.
Well, are you still using the smoke bomb ingredients instead of the, pepper?
Well, you're in luck. I've just finished training and am positively ravenous. If you don't mind, I'd love to sample your cooking.
Really? I mean, yes, please, have some. It is not perfect, but I am certain it will taste quite nice all the same.
Alright.
I'm sure it will be great. Thank you, Flane. There were a few suspiciously crunchy bits here and there, but other than that, It was fine.
Hey, crunches are great. Maybe it was just like you're eating whatever it is, soup, and there's tacos involved.
You liked it? Wow, nobody has ever liked anything I've cooked. If I cannot get anyone else to eat this meal, though, it is going to spoil and go to waste. It is no secret to me that I am not very good at cooking.
Say, Flane, may I have a second helping?
Oh wow, he's not just being nice.
You actually want more?
Of course. I wouldn't want it to go to waste after all the effort you put in. This kind of mishap can happen to anyone, you know? Don't let it get you down. Besides, I can tell you put a lot of love and dedication into preparing this food for everyone. That alone makes it taste good.
All right, I'll buy that.
There is no need for false flattery.
Who's being false?
I speak nothing short of the truth, always. It was delicious, and I look forward to eating it again sometime.
I was gonna say Dimitri is a lot of things, but a liar is not one of them. I haven't seen him say a falsehood yet.
I'll agree there is no need to make enough for everyone, though. If you like, you could just cook enough for me.
Well, that's very weirdly forward.
Perhaps. I hope you enjoy the rest of the meal.
All right. I'm gonna make a backward circuit and go around this way. Why? Because why not? So to do, they can't actually... Something has to happen before those two can move on. But Felix and Sylvain are ready to go.
Sylvain, I want to apologize for the other day.
Oh, that's surprising. Felix usually is too edgy to admit fault.
The other day? What are you talking about, Felix? Is this a trap?
You know, when I called you insatiable.
I mean, that's not incorrect.
Oh, that? Can't say it didn't hurt, but you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you've said worse, Felix. Considerably worse.
To my face. You wrote it in a letter and you sent it to my mom.
Come on, we've known each other since we were kids. We're not gonna let your constant verbal abuse get in the way of our friendship, are we?
I'd be careful. I've had friendships like that, and eventually I realized that... Like, our friendship is based on the fact that they use me to feel better about themselves, and I eventually am like, what am I actually getting out of this?
No, I suppose not.
Whenever I started doing something dumb, you'd yell at me about it.
And whenever you dragged me into something, Ingrid would find out and start lecturing us.
See? It's great. It's a great system.
All these years, and not much has changed, has it? But you're different, Felix. You used to be so, I don't know, carefree when we were young. Now you're the exact opposite.
Well, you're not any different. Good for nothing then, good for nothing now.
Again with the abuse. This from the guy who's always been by that good-for-nothing side. So, did you come to apologize, or to insult me?
I was on my way to train and I saw you. That's all.
I'm not sure I believe that, but I'll take it.
You're off to train, again? Now who's insatiable?
Better than sitting idle like you.
A little idleness would do you some good, pal. Come on, let me buy you something to eat.
I do have to say, it's interesting. It almost feels like Felix is trying to run away from, you know, he's pouring his energy into training so he doesn't have to think about something else. I don't know what the something else is. Probably has something to do with his feud with Dimitri.
No.
You have to choose, Felix. Our friendship, or your training.
My training. Goodbye for now.
What did... is he... Wait, Felix, I'll come train too. Wait up.
I'm surprised he even thought that was a question. Man, Felix is getting close to everybody. I don't know what he was doing, but everyone likes him right now.
Hello, Felix. So, it was your turn to clean out the greenhouse, right?
Yes.
Well, I went ahead and took care of it. I also cleaned up the warehouse.
Well, thank you, and that's a good person.
Why?
I just wanted to help you out. So that... Okay, fine. I'm bribing you. So you'll forget.
Forget what?
Forget about her singing.
Are you really gonna make me say it? Before, in the greenhouse, I want you to forget what you saw and heard. If you agree to forget about it, I'll take your shift in the stables. Do we have a deal?
No thanks.
No? But that's not okay! You have to forget about it!
Who
right
cares? It wasn't even bad.
I can't. It's permanently etched in my memory. A mountain of sweets, as well as steaks and cakes. Stacks of them, apparently. I'm also intrigued by those bear and swamp beastie songs you mentioned. And I've been meaning to ask about the move that went along with crumbs and yums. Was that fencing footwork?
Seriously? I don't know if he's being, like, teasing her or if these are legit questions.
Oh, stop it, Felix! You're a villain!
Thou art a villain!
You think you're so funny? Keeping a straight face while mocking my singing and dancing?
I actually do think he's legitimately, like, wanting to know.
Well, you have to forget about it! Please! What if I make you a nice steak dinner? You like steak, don't you, Felix? It'll be yummy!
Felix is not bribable with steak.
This isn't about steak. I just...
Fine, be stubborn! Tell the whole world for all I care! I'll just learn to live with the funny looks I'll get from everyone. They'll all say, there goes that Annette, the girl with the funny ideas about food. You're just the evilest of villains, Felix! I'll hate you forever and ever!
I was just trying to be nice. Funny ideas about food. Even the bullies in her head are ridiculous.
This may be one of my favorite... Okay, no, it's not. There's definitely ones that made me understand the characters more, but this was great.
I really don't understand that girl.
People keep wanting me to play the other Fire Emblem games, but they also tell me that this game is so much different than the old ones, and I'm just like, but then why would I want to play the old ones? This is awesome! Don't make me go back!
Spectacular work, Felix!
Of course! Oh, I mean, I'm humble.
Why are you here? You're interrupting.
Oh, my apologies. I simply thought you were doing a great job.
I may have seen this already.
Just how sharp is that blade of yours, Felix? Do you imagine you might be able to cut something cleanly with it?
Probably.
Ah, wonderful. I have a special request for you then.
I think I have seen this before.
You want me to cut this firewood?
I do. I shall toss them one by one to you, and you shall make a sweeping blow to slice them.
Sounds like a chore.
I saw a knight do it once, so surely you can as well. Or perhaps you are worried that you are not capable.
That's so transparent.
But I am more than capable.
Right. Show me what you are made of. Here it comes.
Doing them one by one is tedious. Just throw them all at once.
All of them, if you insist. Here we go.
But Felix still falls for it.
Wow, you truly are spectacular.
He only slashed once.
I know.
You are undoubtedly the most revered woodcutter in all the land. Now I am intrigued. Next time, let us try an even larger woodpile.
Why did I agree to this?
I expected him to refuse to do another one. He'd like, no, this has nothing to do with improving myself. Oh, I do think I've seen that before. Oh, and Lysithea. Again, might have seen this already. Yes, I have.
So delicious. I'm so content in this moment. Felix!
Lysithea, you look mortified.
Yeah, I have. And she's like, oh my gosh, I was eating sweets. Please forget about it. And he's like, I don't care. So I'm not watching that again. So Sylvain has Dedu and tons of people down below. Jeebus.
Oh, this is delicious. I can't believe I made it.
Yes, you do have some talent.
I do think Dedu may be my favorite character in this school. Oh, favorite character overall would be hard to say. Shamir.
What's the matter? Have I got something on my face?
No, Sylvain. Recently I've heard rumors about you.
Oh yeah? Which ones?
You've only got one rumor, my friend.
Is it that I'm terrible to girls? Or the rumor where I bring terrible misfortune to the girls I date? I don't, by the way, in case you're about to ask. Oh, I also heard about how I'm total trash and everyone should avoid me. That might be my favorite.
Well, you don't lack for self-awareness.
The way I figure it, if I can't be respected, I can at least be well informed.
You are being described as indefensibly worthless.
I love how he phrases that like a, you are being described.
Indefensibly? That's a bit harsh.
I already knew your reputation concerning women, but these new rumors deprive you of all redemption. I did try to correct them, but I doubt I was believed.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dedu has a hard time convincing anyone of anything.
Well, thank you all the same. Listen, you don't need to worry what people think about me. As you well know, it's not easy to correct misunderstandings or change people's minds. And if I'm going to behave so badly, it seems misunderstandings are inevitable.
I could not be silent.
It seems like Dedu is he reminds me of a humanized version of a basset hound, where once you have his loyalty, he will never be able to listen to anything against your honor or your reputation. And he'll even defend you without knowing the facts.
You saw me as a person, rather than merely as someone from Dusker. I want you to be seen as a person, too.
I appreciate that, Dedu. You think the world will ever see us that way?
Maybe.
I can't tell if you're joking or not, but I like it.
Then we will get along.
Nice. I'm having like ideas of just jumping around and constantly getting different groups, but I do think it's probably better just to go along with everyone. Sylvain and Dorothea.
Ah, Dorothea. What are you doing here?
I was actually waiting to see you.
Were you going to invite me out to dinner? I accept.
Yes, I was. I don't think it would be so bad to share a meal with you from time to time.
How about tonight? I'm busy tomorrow.
That's fine by me. What are you busy with, I wonder? Girls? And more girls?
Absolutely, a whole bevy of them. Sylvain is really trying to put himself as the main character of a harem anime.
Isn't it an unwritten rule not to ask about such things? But what a curious turn of events. Have you perhaps got an ulterior motive?
No ulterior motives. If you're worried, we can just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I just don't understand why you want my company now, when you've always been so cold to me. Have you perhaps fallen in love with me?
No.
My stomach just got queasy. You know what? Maybe I'll eat on my own after all.
I was like, don't mess with Dorothea. She will mess you up.
Fine, fine, I get it. You want someone to chase your loneliness away.
Something like that, yes. If you don't want to, I'll ask someone else.
Don't dream of it. It would be my pleasure, milady.
I've never really understood people that can't stand... I mean, obviously, if you're by yourself for too terribly long, but you're in a school surrounded by people, she can't be that lonely.
And to be clear, the reason you chose to spend time with me is my family, yes? Or is it my crest? Both? I'm just curious about such things. Say I was a commoner. Would you still have invited me to dinner?
Is this really necessary for a simple dinner invitation? Actually, I have a question of my own. Say I was a hoarse-voiced old hag. Would you still be flirting with me? Would you still want to hold my hand and whisper sweet nothings?
That's a difficult question. I have nothing against mature women, but...
Even if you were an old man, I still would have invited you out.
Interesting. Unexpected. Awesome.
If you were a former noble exiled from his family, or an orphan from the streets, my heart cares not. Just kidding. I just wanted to try saying it. Of course it's better that you have money.
You little... Yeah, that's probably true. So, Dorothea, about that dinner?
It would be an honor to have you join me tonight. And let's not talk about things like this over dinner, okay?
Even if I was an old man or an orphan, huh?
I wonder what orphan has to do with anything. Like, heck, the professor's an orphan. Well, will be soon. Spoilers. Alright, then Lauren's. I don't know that Lauren's ever got... Because that's the thing, we never really hung out with Sylvain all that much. Definitely did not get to rank B, and Bernadetta's funny because I haven't spent any real time with her.
To find the analog of your beauty in nature, I can turn only to the lily. Only that flower is so sweet and so delicate as to approach your loveliness.
I'd forgotten that Lauren's was a womanizer, because his character deepened so much beyond that, but yeah, that's definitely where it started.
Why, just look at these soft, delicate fingertips you have. It is as though they could blossom into fragrant lilies before my very eyes.
If you're so wild about flowers, why don't you try a flower shop?
Oh, wow. That was... I'm sorry I saw that, but I am so glad I saw that.
Oh, did you not realize? I was only testing her.
Of course you were. Of course.
Any woman who is taken in by such simple flattery is ill-suited to my noble disposition.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you explained it, because I thought you just got rejected. Just flat out, no way to make yourself feel better about it, rejected.
Sylvain, you asshole.
And the reason, your nobleness, is because that is really not the way you go about hitting on a girl.
Oh, is it not? And I suppose you consider yourself an expert on the subject.
I mean, yeah, do you not know his reputation? Of course he's an expert on the subject.
Pay attention, kid. Maybe you'll learn something. When I saw you, I just had to come over and say hello. Because finding you here feels like fate.
That is not much better.
Maybe we could go get some tea. Get to know each other better.
I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Someone who cares. Please excuse me.
Exquisite. Simply masterful. When is the wedding?
That's weird. Girls usually fall for that speech. You must have spooked her.
To think that the noble House Gautier would be blessed with such a graceful and charming air.
Okay, I am loving this. This is Operation Girl Hunt all over again.
Please. I'm a much better heir than a self-important failure like you.
This is not worth my time.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oop, they're getting in a fight. Oh, I am definitely keeping them together from here on out. That was amazing. Plus, hey, Leona just finished up.
Hey, Leonie. I mean, hello, beautiful. What brings a sweet girl like you to a place like this?
I just came to the greenhouse to look at flowers. What's with you?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I was just thinking about how sunflowers don't deserve to be stuffed away in a greenhouse. They'd bloom better out in the open. Just like you.
Could you cut the weird metaphors and just say what you want to say?
Yeah, Leone is not much for, like, prose and flowery poetry.
Oh, wait. I get it. I'm not ladylike enough to fit in with all the pretty flowers.
No, okay, that compliment backfired. Let me try a different angle.
This is a joke, right? Tell me this is a joke.
What have you got against sunflowers anyway? I think they're lovely myself. If you think I only care about delicate flowers raised in a greenhouse, you've got me all wrong. Statuesque sunflowers, blooming proud and tall in the open air, have a beauty all their own.
Is that right?
You better believe it. And the same goes for you. You have a beauty unlike any other. I look at you and I see sunflowers.
Interesting. Not quite the angle I would go if I was trying to seduce Leone. I'd probably, like, challenge her to a duel, and then after she beat me, tell her she's amazing. Because let's be honest, Leone would totally kick my ass.
Look, can you just go back to normal?
I love the little, like, blue lines of annoyance around her.
At this point, I feel like anything I say is just going to make you more angry.
Why are you suddenly not capable of carrying on a normal conversation?
My eyes have been opened to the charms of the beautiful flower blooming right beside me. It's a whole new day for my heart.
You can quit messing with me at any time.
It's interesting because I did see there's no rank A for them, so this is actually where it stops.
I'm not. I'm absolutely serious. You really are as charming as any flower. I see that now.
Would you stop? This is getting weird.
What are you talking about? Where have you been for the last 27 lines of dialogue?
Even sincerity doesn't work? What kind of flirting is going to satisfy you? You know what? I'm just going to leave you alone for now, so I can get a fresh start some other time.
Right. Bye. Charming? Me, of all people. Like I'd actually believe that. Stupid.
Poor Leone. This is why Varoth is the only person for you. Don't you dare end up with anyone else. I know she's gonna end up with someone else. And Bernie!
So full. That fruit plate really hit the spot.
Bernadetta, what are you doing out of your room?
Time to get nice and snug. Maybe do some sewing.
Hey, you Bernadetta. You look pretty happy. Celebrating something?
What? No, nothing at all.
What is up with that face?
Hey, relax. It's okay if you'd rather not tell me. By the way, I believe you left something in the library. A half-written manuscript? Your own work, I presume? I was curious who it belonged to and gave it a read-through. You're a really talented writer.
Oh, I didn't know she was a writer. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I peeked at the first page, then the next, and I couldn't stop. I think it's good enough to publish. It's the kind of adventure story that will make people laugh and cry. I love how you never know what mess the hero is going to get herself into next. I'm dying to read more.
Bernie is amazing!
Your mouth's hanging wide open. Bernadetta, are you okay?
Sorry, was someone talking about a story?
Yes, that would be me. I read your book.
Well, it's not a book yet because it's not finished.
You read my book?
Yeah, and I loved it.
I'm so humiliated. Please forget everything you read.
Yeah, that didn't work for Annette. It's not going to work for you.
Humiliated? No, I think the word you're looking for is humbled, because... And she's gone. Now, what do I do with this book?
Oh, we actually read it. I regret everything. Even if I burn the pages, I can't burn his memory. Not unless I throw him in the fire, too.
Oh god, I love Bernadetta. She's amazing.
No, that's awful. Don't think things like that, Bernie.
Fire solves all problems. Give in to the dark side, Bernadetta. Alright, next up, Annette. Annette's got some time to spend with Dedue, Ash, and that's it.
Forgive me.
It's fine. Honestly, it's pretty funny when you think about it.
Yeah, what are we forgiving you for?
I did not expect the horse to react so violently when I approached.
No kidding. And I didn't expect the two of us to get covered in hay.
Hey, there's a story. Make sure you don't just mention half of that story. It sounds really suspect out of context, and I love out of context stories.
Animals have never taken to me. It must be as you said. My face is the problem. I have not honed my smile well enough. I deeply regret the trouble I've caused you.
Don't be ridiculous. And especially don't be sad. It's no trouble at all, I promise.
Yeah, she loves being covered in hay.
Everyone makes mistakes. Isn't that what you've been trying to teach me?
Yes, I suppose so.
It does look like this'll take a while to clean up. But if we work together, it'll be done in no time.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
I am truly sorry.
4?
Don't apologize. When it's your turn for stable duty, I'm happy to help.
Really?
Sure. And in return, you can help me out when I'm on kitchen duty.
He is a very good chef, even if, like, he's afraid of making Tuscarian food.
Of course.
By the way, I tried out all that stuff you mentioned before, about how to not be a scatterbrain. I'm still pretty hopeless, but thanks to you, I'm making fewer mistakes. It's probably not a good idea for me to be left alone around knives and boiling water, though. That's why it'll be really nice knowing you have my back.
You have changed.
Huh?
You no longer fear approaching me for help. You simply ask.
Well, of course.
And now, when the need arises, I will rely on you, too.
Awesome, I'm glad we had this talk. B+. And Ash level B.
Okay, now that you know the technique, go ahead and solve this problem.
Ah, I've got it. Finally.
What do you mean finally? It took you like a tenth of a second.
See? Isn't it fun to learn?
Absolutely. You're great at this, you know. You really seem to have all the
Okay,
answers.
guys, headcanon. The last battle I had, I think this happened while you guys could see, but maybe not. Ash did master his class, and now has like a plus 20 to hit, which means he'll be more reliable in battle. But I'm going to say the reason he's so much more reliable is that he worked with he worked with, Annette and actually learned like trigonometry and angles and things like that. It's not something he did, it's because the two of them are best friends.
I wish I could study and just soak up knowledge like you. How did you get so good at this?
Well, studying was something of a necessity for me.
What do you mean?
My father was one of the king's knights.
Alright.
One day, he never returned home. He just left without ever saying a word to me or my mother.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Losing a father so suddenly? I completely understand.
Yeah, you're an orphan. You got taken in by the Lenatos.
After he left, I thought a lot about where he might have gone. My father was a devout believer, so I was certain he must have come here, to Garreg Mach.
Here? Really?
That's why I was determined to gain acceptance into the academy. I needed to come here so I could search for my father.
I'm guessing you didn't find him.
The problem was that I needed money to get in. Lots of it. And I didn't have any at all. So I entered the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad first, hoping I could somehow find a path here. I studied tirelessly until I finally earned myself a recommendation.
Oh, wow. So for you, studying has been like a way to meet your destiny.
Destiny, huh? Well, yes, but it's a bit embarrassing when you put it like that. Now I have other reasons for wanting to keep trying hard. I want to protect all of my friends and allies here.
Alright, makes sense.
I'm studying hard so I can be as useful as possible to everyone I hold dear.
You've worked so hard. I really respect that. I'm going to follow your example.
Alright, cool. Alright, guys, we're at 32 minutes and we still have... Okay, actually, just quick count. 1, 2... 3... Okay, I guess not that many, actually. Yeah, we can finish them up. It's not as many as I thought it was. I just kept seeing all of these things, but I'm like, actually, they knocked themselves out pretty quick.
Ah, Dorothea, your beauty puts even the most pristine flower to shame.
We've definitely seen this one because they were just about to boink in the last playthrough. But then Lawrence died. You know we're saving Shamir.
Are you injured?
This is one I've actually been looking forward to seeing because Ingrid was the one that was the most anti-Dusker.
To do. Saving the day again?
Apologies.
I'm the one who owes you an apology. You've saved my life how many times now?
He's too much of a gentleman to, like, keep count.
If I keep being so callous, I'll seem ungrateful.
No matter.
But...
I'm accustomed to it.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right. Asshole, you know, being treated like dirt just because it's consistent isn't correct.
I'm sorry, Dedu.
Why?
Because the way I speak to you is unnecessarily harsh.
It certainly is, Ingrid. I'm glad that we had this. I mean, I expected it. They're not going to just have Ingrid be a bitch the entire game.
The truth of it is, I lost someone very dear to me in Dusker. The punishment came swift to your people, and when I heard of the slaughters, well, I thought it was a punishment well earned. I thought the people cruel and heartless, deserving of the tragedy that ultimately befell them. But you're different. You seem nothing like the people of whom I speak. So why not speak back against how I and so many others feel? Why not question this unfair prejudice and tell me I haven't the right to hold a grudge against you?
Because it won't do any good. The sad thing about it is that you can never change a bigot's mind through words, only through actions. And even then, I don't know if you can change the bigot. You can just change the perception of society as a whole. I always kind of go back to the fact that I may have told this story before, I can't remember, but when my dad was young, he was young in the 60s, and his parents were racist. They weren't asshole racists. For anyone that because obviously his parents grew up in the 20s, maybe the 30s, I'm not 100% sure, but certainly before the civil rights movement by a lot.
Whoa, kitty.
Sorry about that, guys. And so people that grew up before the civil rights movement, the society was just built in a way that was racist. You know, it was just understood that minorities were not as intelligent, were not as capable, and shouldn't be trusted with complex decisions. Obviously, now we look at that and be like, wow, that is awful. But the people that grew up in that era, it's not that they hate minorities, it's just that the world they lived in, they're a product of their times. But my dad was raised by his parents and was raised in a racist household, and not a these people are jerks and we should lynch them household, but still in a he was not raised to consider them in terms of, if he needs advice, don't ever go to a minority, they don't know what they're talking about, type of thing. And then thankfully, kind of thankfully, he ended up doing really bad in school and kind of goofed off and went out and drank a lot. And so when his report card came in, I say school, this is actually college, his dad kind of looked at it and said, well, got one question for you, son. Army, Navy, Marines, or Air Force? And so Dad joined the Air Force. And in the Air Force, he got to know a lot of minorities really, really well. And that kind of broke him of the way he was raised. And he's like, these people are just as good as anyone else. And so thankfully, because of that, I was raised in a non-racist household. And even then, like, when he came back and he talked to his dad about it, his dad didn't... It was just one of those things. It's not like his dad actively hated minorities. He just had been raised not to consider them, so he never had. And so, because you'll have conversations like, well, why do you think, black people or Mexicans or whatever, why do you think these people shouldn't run a business? And you just like, oh, well, it hasn't been done. Like, that was the way he approached it. So, basically what I'm saying is, don't think my grandfather is terrible. He just is not good. And the reason I'm bringing up this whole thing is to say, Dudu can't get anywhere by just being like, hey, I'm a person here, stop, because people that are judging them will not stop and listen to someone that they've already made a decision about. You can only change their mind through what you do, not what you say.
If you just speak to me, if you tell me the truth about all of this.
I do not know the truth of it myself. His Highness says the tragedy was not the fault of my people. But just like anywhere, there were many different people in Duscur. Some very good, and others very bad.
You can't judge people in a group.
It is not unimaginable that some may have conspired to take part in that wickedness. Perhaps we are merely victims, or perhaps we are regicidal monsters.
Whatever the truth of it is, you are not to blame. The people I hate are the ones who are responsible for that whole mess. You just got caught up in all of it.
Ingrid.
You've rushed to my side. You've saved me countless times. I am sorry for how I've treated you. Truly.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
If you think of me as your ally, that will suffice. For me, that is enough.
That was nice. That was heartwarming. I am curious now. Okay, there is another rank for them. Good. And yep. In with Shamir. Awesome Shamir.
Shamir.
It's... you. What is it?
Interesting.
I have a message from His Highness. He will meet you in front of the library tomorrow evening.
Interesting. Why is Dimitri basically telling Shamir what to do?
Evening, library, front. Got it.
Can we get a more specific time than the evening?
Oh. One more thing. A
bug landed on your shoulder. Sorry if I startled you.
Who cares about a bug?
Anything else?
No.
Good.
You get to the point. It makes you easy to deal with.
Likewise. No need to say what isn't worth saying, right?
Precisely. Few others seem to think so.
Agreed.
That is all. Farewell.
Farewell.
Interesting. That's not where that... When it's like, oh, it's you. That is not where I thought that whole conversation was going. But I'm glad to have seen where it went. So with that, guys, it does look like no one is quite at 20 yet. We've had a few people cross the level 10 threshold. Blaine can become a Pegasus Knight. I am curious here. Am I correct? So, Holy Knight is Lance, Faith, and yes, Riding. I want to make sure I'm training these people in the right stuff. Alright, and with that, guys, we'll go ahead and have a seminar, and I will see you next time for the mission. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you.